Hi, crafty friends. Are you guys ready for 5 easy Dollar Tree projects? Well, I grabbed 2 frames from the Dollar Tree. So we are going to take the glass out of one of them, and then we will use that frame for something else. But we are going to paint up one of the frames. I'm going to just put 2 coats of chalk paint over the top of this. And then once that is all dried up, well, I'm going to set it aside to dry while we are taking this picture. I know you can't see the picture right now, but I got it out of a book and I thought, oh my gosh, let's frame it glass and glass. So I just took a little piece of tape and taped it down and then put the other piece of glass over the top. And then we will put that into the frame. Now it makes it heavy because it's the 2 pieces of glass. So I added a little bit of hot glue around the edges just to make sure that it held in really nicely. So think about this, maybe an old picture you have or something out of a book or a magazine, even a photograph would be super cool. So once all the paint was dry, I took a little bit of rub and buff. There was kind of a beaded edge and I thought adding that would be cute. And look at how this turned out. I just love it. So project number 2, we are going to make a custom carpet runner. So I got these mats from the Dollar Tree and I put them together. I actually put the tape on the wrong side at first. I had to fix that because I wanted the letters to be on the bottom of the rug, because what we're going to do is we are going to paint a pattern on this. So once I got all of the pieces put together the correct way, because you know me, I'm over here messing up, so I can tell you guys how not to mess up when you're crafting. I'm really good at that. But anyway, so once we get it all together, then we will go ahead and start making our pattern on it. So I decided to use some of the blue painter's tape, and we are just going to lay that down right over the top of it, and we are going to paint it. So rather than using a paintbrush or like a foam brush or something, because this is kind of, the feeling of this is kind of coarse, I thought, ooh, let's use this little scraper thing, and that way I'm just kind of pushing the paint into it rather than actually trying to paint it, and it worked out really well. Now, I used chalk paint on this. I didn't have a whole bunch left in my jar, so I added a little bit of water to it. So if you have acrylic paint, I think that would probably work best. Or if you need to add a little water to your chalk paint, you could totally do that too. So once that completely dried, then I'm just going to pull the tape off. And then I have a really cool pattern on a runner, which I could never find one for this hallway to fit, and it does. So I absolutely love it. So now we're going to do project number 3, and we are going to make a faux shutter with some of the wood rulers from the Dollar Tree. This little red part, these are the little plastic pieces that are on it that say the measurements. And so I just pulled those off, put a couple of them together just to give me my thickness in between each one of the shutters. And then I will take my miter box saw and then I will cut down 2 more pieces to go at the top and the bottom of the shutter so that way it holds it together. But as I was doing this, I figured, oh, let's put a little tape and kind of make sure that my widths stay the same all the way across. And that worked out easy. At first I was like, oh, I can just do it one at a time. It was just easier to tape it. So here's the miter box saw. We're just going to cut those off. And then you can see there's a hole at the bottom of each one of the rulers. So all I did was I just covered it with that bottom piece of the shutter, and that worked out great. I also had barely a little bit of acrylic paint left in a bottle, so I added some water. So we'll do kind of like a staining look over the top of this. You could totally paint it if you wanted to, but this is just something fun and decorative. So once we got this all stained up, I'm going to let it dry really good, and then we're going to take some sandpaper and just kind of hit the edges a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little wreath in the middle of this. You could do something over the top, whatever you wanted, but I thought the wreath would be fun to do because then you could just remove it and try something different. So next up, we have project number 4, which is the hobnail idea. So I got this planner from Dollar Tree. It has those words on it. I don't want the words there, so I'm using some acetone, the nail polish remover, to take it off, and it's so stinking easy. Like, I have fought tooth and nail with how to remove this stuff, and finally figuring that out was like ding, 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 light bulb moment. But once that's done, we're going to sand it a little bit, and then we are going to put a couple coats of paint on it. Now you can see those big puffy letters in the corner, not letters, Why are words so difficult all the time? Stickers. That's going to be like our faux hobnail, but I decided to use a smaller one that I'd already spray painted black for another project. So I was like, let's put those on. So a little bit of hot glue just to hold them on in place. These are stickers, but the hot glue, you just need that little bit of extra to hold. Once I get all of those in place, then I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of paint over the top of those. The black was just a little bit too stark for what I was wanting, but like I said, I just spray painted over the top of those and it was such an easy way. But this is an inexpensive way to get that hobnail look, which I love so much. So we're going to put some paint on that, and then I've also got some twine there. I'm going to wrap that around each one of the sides of the handles there just to add like another textural element to it. And friends, it's that simple. And I was thinking we could do this on glass and like create a vase or something. So many ideas for this faux hobnail, which I love, without the expensive price tag along top of it. So once you get this all wrapped up, just a little hot glue to hold it in place. And then friends, you have a really cool planter that you could do so many things with. But I love how this turned out. So much fun. All right, so on to the last project. Project number 5. We are going to take a pizza pan from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to take some jute, and we are just going to rope, I should say, from Dollar Tree, and we're just going to wrap it all the way around. Now, I thought I was in the center. I was not in the center, but that's okay. Don't worry as you get to the edges, because you can just kind of like cut a little piece of rope to make it look like it. We're going to put an edging on this so it covers up a lot of the parts that you don't want, on the edges where it doesn't look perfectly perfect. So I also grabbed a couple packs of the shower curtain rings, the plastic ones from Dollar Tree also. And we're going to use a smaller twine, and we're going to wrap twine all the way around them. And then we're going to put those together, and then bada bing, bada boom, we're going to have a really cool tray. This is kind of like that boho vibe. And friends, this did take a while, but that's okay. I absolutely, this is one of my favorite projects I think I've ever done. And I use this thing all the time. So again, just wrapping. That was like the story of my life. And then we wrap them together. And then once we get all of them all the way around, we're going to wrap it in one big circle. And then what I did was I will hot glue this thing into place. And then I also took a couple of little pieces of the twine and like glued it down around to the bottom of the pizza pan, just so that everything stayed in place, and it worked out so nicely. So friends, I hope that these 5 projects has inspired you and you're like, let's get to crafting, let's go to Dollar Tree and find some stuff to craft with, because I love to give inexpensive ideas so that you can decorate your home or give them as gifts or whatever you want to do. Just have fun crafting. So don't forget to follow the page or subscribe to the page, I should say, for more crafts. And thank you guys so very much. I just love how this one turned out. Subscribe for more.